Okay, my people, we got good news and bad news. What do we start with? First, let me put on my glasses so I can look cool. We got good news and bad news. What do we start with? Okay, let's start with some good news, okay? First of all, congratulations to Zambia and Ghana for having an agreement, officially agreeing on visa-free travel for the citizens. Congratulations. Big up my coffee. Yeah, big up my coffee. Big up my coffee again means clap your hand in Swahili. Swahili is the most spoken language in Africa. You see all these countries right here? We're talking about Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Congo, Rwanda, Burundi. They all speak Swahili. Yes, they're different Swahili. They sound a bit different, but with a little bit of patience, they understand each other. Beautiful. Congratulations to Ghana and Zambia. This is beautiful. I know it's crazy to think that African countries in 2026 still have to have visas for each other. Yeah, it's much easier for a European to travel across Africa than it is for an African person to go to 3 different African countries on one day or 1 week. Sometimes 1 month. It's crazy. Now, congratulations to Zambia and Ghana. Well, Ghana is a beautiful place, beautiful people. I believe Ghana has a open border policy for most African countries. You can now go to Ghana visa free. You just hop on the plane. Whoop. Ghana, you go dance. Me pacho, good afternoon. Me pacho, good morning. It's banku and tilapia. Very interesting people. So it's great stuff. President of Ghana traveled to Zambia to make this official. They've abolished visa requirement for each other. The agreement announced was made by President Johan Dramani Mahatma. This man right here. He's the current president of Ghana. He used to be president in the past. He's back, to try to fix the mistakes of the past and make things better. That's beautiful. Now, the bad news. The bad news is this is the president of Ghana. As you can see, this is how he arrived in Zambia. You see, he's dressed in an unconventional way, right? Unconventional compared to who? To how white people taught you how to dress up. So now, when he arrived at the airport in Zambia, this is how he dressed up, okay? And many Zambians were mocking him. They didn't like the way he was dressed. Mahatma arrived in Zambia wearing classic northern Ghanaian fugu. That is what it's called, okay? This is a beautiful, colorful smoke traditionally worn by men in northern Ghana. Okay, it symbolized heritage, status, cultural pride, but Zambians were mocking him. They say that it was a blouse. You see the thing on top he's wearing? They say it's a blouse. They imply that it looked feminine and unconventional for a male leader. So this is a president from another African country coming to your country to meet your president, to sign a beautiful deal on visa-free travel between the two nations. And people in Zambia criticizing his attire, saying that it's a blouse. It's unconventional, not dignified for a male leader. So he should have dressed up in suit, the way Bazungu or Balungu. You see Bazungu in Swahili, Balungu or Abalungu in Sizulu. You see how African languages are very close? It means the same thing. So Mzungu taught you how to dress up. This is suit and tie. That means you're classical, you're beautiful. But now you start insulting other African people's attire, thinking that it looks loose and unprofessional. It's very sad. Well, Ghanaians didn't wait long. They came back very strong, punching Zambians in the face. On the internet, Ghanaians flooded social media with photos of themselves wearing fugu. We're talking about celebrities in Ghana. MPs, a parliamentarian wearing fugu. Most popular influencer, this man right here, Wode Maya. I'm sure you've seen him before on videos. He does a tremendous job with vlogs and traveling across Africa and many other African countries and many countries in the world, that don't matter. He also came and said to them very clearly on Facebook. He educated Zambians saying, "Dear Zambian, the outfit worn by our president is not a blouse. It's a Ghanaian traditional attire known as fugu, also called batakari." Okay? And there was back and forth and insult, a lot of insult. And it's very, very sad. Very sad. We get back to the insult. Now, the Ghanaian tourist minister, Ablajifa Gomashi, and foreign minister Samuel Okwedzo Ablakwa Sorry, I murdered his name there. Ablakwa condemned the mockery as culturally insensitive. Culturally insensitive. You don't mock other people's cultures, my brother. Even if you don't agree with it, with maturity, you shut your mouth, okay? Because it's not your culture. Because guess what? Your culture probably has something that is dodgy and weird as well. You don't find it weird. Some people will find it weird. Whereas President himself of Ghana, Mahatma, addressed it humorously. He made a joke out of it during his visit, saying he wore the same smoke to the United Nations in September 2025.
And I want the smoke to the United Nations, the highest platform in this world. I'm surprised that Zambians didn't see me in a smoke last September.
You came closer.
Yeah, when I gave the speech that everybody's talking about, I was wearing a smoke. I'm surprised that he didn't notice it till I visited.
So he wore the same stuff in the United Nations with no feel of inferiority and was surprised it's only got noticed in Zambia. So in the United Nations, the United States of America, the Iranians, the Chinese, the Indians saluted him and respected him for representing Africa by wearing what's Africans. But it's only in Zambia that it is noticed and mocked. Okay, and he noted the attention actually helped promote Ghanaian weavers and local fashion. You see, President, as a grown man, as a father, turned it into a positive thing. And that's a beautiful thing. Fellas, this is very sad because this is not new. Okay? Africans like to mock each other on stupid things. It is very sad. Matter of fact, many Ghanaians punched back on Zambians. They brought up these attires. Like, look at this person saying that the Zambian were trying to copy Scottish with cheap budget wearing this. I mean, this looks very Scottish. These are the Scottish. These are Scottish people. Now look at these are the Zambians. Now the Ghanaians are insulting the Zambians, say you mocking our president. But look at what you guys wear. Had you been trying to be copying Scottish people because you wanted to be like them? I mean, look how stupid you look. I mean, this is crazy. Well, fellas, I think this is a subject that we need to talk about because in many African countries, okay, people mock each other based on accent in a foreign language, whether it is English or French. African people colonized by British and French mock each other in the country. So they will basically establish how smart you are based on how you pronounce, how you sound in English or French. Okay. So in some countries such as Kenya, I've seen that there was a lady named, what's her name again? Miss Trudy. I think she's the wife of Wode Maya. This is Wode Maya. This is Miss Trudy. I think one of the earliest videos I saw of her many, many years ago, she was saying excited. Okay. I believe that's how Kenyans say excited. They say excited with emphasis on the X, which is nothing wrong with that. But people came for her. Like, why are you saying excited? It's excited. I'm like, and she jokingly made a comment about it saying, oh, well, is it excited? Oh, sorry. I mean, that's how I speak. What do you want her to do? But I think it was just jealousy. Jealousy to see a young girl doing great for herself. Jealousy to see a girl, simple woman, not necessarily a slay queen or somebody trying to look different, doing great on the internet, because they used to, in Africa at least, seeing people that are portraying rich and wealth and slay queenism to be the popular people on the internet. And she was nothing of that. She was a girl coming from a small town, I believe, with a decent father. I think he was a single father, doing great on the internet. People got jealous. They were picking on her English. It's insane. Now you ask them to speak in their own language, you'll be shocked they can't do 2 sentences without bringing an English, say, word or something into it. Yes, these people can barely speak their own languages. They cannot. Let's not talk about the French community, French-speaking people in Africa. They will dismiss you because you made a small mistake of grammar grammar. Yeah, it's not my mother's tongue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are you telling me that these people think the better you sound like a French person, the more Paris accent you have, the smarter you are? It's crazy. I know a lot of people are here from America, from the breed. Yeah, you need to understand the reality. This is the continent for you. Some people, they take a trip They go to Great Britain for 2 weeks and they come back with an accent. Give me some water. No, I just had some butter on my bread. Yes, because they feel like they're getting better. And it's an inferiority complex. Feeling like the better you look like your master, the more you are accepted. I know, it's the same demons all over the world among black people. Anyway, let's get back on the good news. Yeah, pick up my coffee, yeah. Yes, so Ghana and Zambia are now visa-free, okay? And it's beautiful. We're very happy to see that. We want to see more African countries opening borders to allow other Africans to know each other. And this is one of the reasons. If Ghana and Zambia had been visa-free long time before, the Zambians wouldn't be mocking Ghanaians or the Ghanaian president of his attire. Because they would have known by now, right? Out of curiosity, you would have traveled to the next country, right? I hear a lot of stupid people on the internet, especially Africans, say, why am I going to leave my country? I don't want to go to another country to see it. No, why don't you stay in your own town? Stay in your little town where you were born. No. Stay in your little town where you were born. And let's see if you're the same version of a human being. No, you wouldn't be. The reason why you are what you are today is because you left your little town, that stinky town out there that's where you belong. You must stay there. It is important for the human to go out there and see the world. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go over there and stay forever. No. Okay. Now, it's very sad to see Africans don't have an open mind. Let me go see what's happening in Benin and understand. Let me speak to a Togolese and see how he thinks. Maybe he does 1, 2, 3 better than me, and I can implement that into my life and get better. That's how you progress. Look at Europeans. They have open border. Well, surely we can't compare European problems and Africans. And we can try understand why up until now Africa is not open in terms of visa. Okay? So some of the reason why Africans in general cannot implement visa-free policy is because of cross-border crime and terrorism. Yes, it's very difficult. Look at Nigeria. 200 people were killed today. They are Nigerians killing Nigerians. Why? Because those Nigerians are supposedly Muslim are killing Christian Nigerians because they don't believe in their God that they have never seen before. Yes. Now, you want to open a border with people like that? No, you don't want to do that. You probably have Christians in your country, right? Well, they're going to cross the border and start unaliving people in your country. You don't want that. That's a genuine point, right? No, maybe you need to keep the Nigerian to the side. Let's open the border for everybody except the Nigerians. Don't get hard feelings, okay? Just the time Nigeria resolve its problems, then we can open the border for Nigerians as well. Number 2 reasons is trafficking. We're talking about drugs, arms, and humans. There's a lot of human trafficking. We know who do the human trafficking and the drugs and the stuff. We don't need to mention that again. One of the other reasons why you cannot have right now open border is illegal immigration and overstaying. I mean, look at the Zimbabweans in South Africa. Sorry, my Zimbabweans. I had to just put you under the train. A lot of South Africans complain about Zimbabweans moving to their country. Look at the map. This is Zimbabwe. This is South Africa. They're very much neighbors. Okay? And a lot of Zimbabweans have moved to South Africa. Why? Because Zimbabwe is not doing so well. Why? Because a lot of stories. And we're not going to elaborate that today. But can Zimbabwe do better? Absolutely. So many people are scared that if you open borders, the Zimbabweans are going to come. Well, some people don't believe that. Like Julius Malema believes that the reason why people come flocking to your country is because your borders are closed. Because if the border was open, people will come and go back. Do you believe in that or not? Well, the other reason why there is no visa-free among Africans, it's loss of visa revenue. Okay, so many of these countries make a lot of money, meaningful resource and income for many governments. So it's not necessarily governments. Be careful. It could be people in government. 3, 4, 5 big people that are making the money through visa issuance. Do you think they don't want that anymore? That's a big question. Okay, so number 5, it's economic social pressure. Okay, fear of competition for jobs and housing. If people come from another country, they come to your country, then they want your jobs, then you need to compete with them. Then you can't just compete, you need to better yourself, especially for the lazy people who don't want to better themselves. I mean, I just found it crazy that a human being would be happy to just be complacent because he feels like government has to do things for them. I'm sorry. People don't want to be competitive because competition will push you to do better, go read some more, go back to school, go acquire more skills. And people don't want to do that. The easiest way is, well, go back to your country so I can stay in my country and profit from my country. Why you come? I can't even have a girlfriend. I can't even have a girlfriend by myself because you're bringing all your people here. I can't even have my own girlfriend. Why? Because obviously when your girlfriend tastes other people's way of love, they question your ability to love. And that forces you to get better. Is that a good thing or not? Question mark. Now, Ghana, we know, implemented visa-free for all African countries, okay, in early 2025. And we also know that is a great thing. Congratulations to Ghana. Congratulations to Kenya for removing the ETA requirement for citizens of 52 African countries. So Kenya is also open if you want to visit. Well, Zambia has expanded its visa-free access to more African nationalities. And I know Zambian people are good people as well. So let's be united and work together. Now, I think before we close this thing, I think it's necessary, talking about the attire, to understand that African people have different type of traditional clothes. Okay? Look at this, for instance. This is called Abesha Kemis. Abesha Kemis is for Ethiopians. Okay, that's their tradition, that's their culture, that's their pride. Look at this. This is Togu from Cameroon. It's colorful, it's beautiful, it's their identity. Look at this. This is Faso Dan Fani from Burkina Faso. I also have one. Yeah, one or two when I went to Burkina Faso. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. Ghana, visa-free with Zambia. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing. It's always a great pleasure. Should Africa open its borders? How can we find a solution? Should we keep the dangerous one aside? We can't restrain ourselves from mingling because we have some people that are crazy in the head. They kill people for being of different religion. We need to put them to the side and move on, right? Until they can catch up. God bless.